Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Let's see who is going to join me this evening. So my name's Dion and this is my page, Yogalistic, and welcome to my Sunday night yin yoga night. So at the moment I'm just talking to myself while we wait for people to hop on and say hello to me and tell me who you are and where you are. But I'm thinking it might be quite quiet on our live tonight because here in Spain we have had a beautiful sunny day. And hi Heather, how are you? And it's actually been a real challenge to drag myself from enjoying the sunshine to come and do some yoga. So firstly, I thank you for wanting to do these classes because you are helping me get onto my mat as well, which is like really important. So we'll see who joins tonight. So I think it's going to be pretty quiet, and of course, and the clocks have changed as well. So it is kind of more like 4:30. So we've still got sun out, it's still really light, and normally we like our yin yoga when it's all kind of cozy and dark and snuggly. Hi Frida from Calpe. Have you enjoyed the sunshine today? It's long awaited and very much appreciated. Is that Claire and Leon online? Are you watching? Who else have we got on? So before we start, so I have got some cushions, big cushion, little cushions. I've got today some yoga blocks. You may or may not. If you haven't got them, it doesn't matter. If you haven't got them, you might want to grab a couple of big books, just in case. Sarah, ready to do some yin? Yay! I know that Claire is watching. Great. So maybe a yoga block, maybe some books, maybe some cushions. Watching from my bed, still feeling rough. Back on it tomorrow. Oh, bless you, Claire. Okay, you can do these from your bed, Claire. This is absolutely no problem to do this from your bed. So these are not, we're not going to be moving around a lot tonight. It's all about stillness. And I quite often do my yin yoga on my bed. And you've got your pillows there as well, so you can use your pillows. You've got your wall there if you want to do some legs up the wall. So if you just fancy it, Claire, just kind of, move and relax and stretch. So no strain tonight. I hope you're saying you're feeling rough. I hope you haven't got any flu-y kind of yucky viruses. I hope maybe you just work too hard with Sarah's classes and feeling the effects. Hi Elizabeth, hey Liz, how are you doing, my gorgeous lady back there in the UK? Cool, yeah, Claire's going to do it from her bed. Fantastic. So just get comfortable. What time are we? 5:31. Just going to give it a couple more minutes. So I know it's going to be a quiet one tonight with you people joining on live because finally the sun has come. And I think it might be going again tomorrow, so I think people are, at the moment are out enjoying the last rays of sunshine, and of course the clocks change, so it feels earlier and not time to come inside and get snuggly. But we are going to do some yin. One of the things I love most about yoga practice is that you can wear whatever you want to wear, and if you're at home on your own, maybe you don't want to wear anything. I've often gone to teaching retreats and people have come down for their yoga class in their PJs, which is absolutely fine. So all I did today is change my pants. So I've got my normal sweater on, I've got my body warmer on, which actually this is kind of glued to me at the moment. And I just changed my pants because I didn't want zips and buttons and studdy things and pockets sticking in my bum. And aren't yoga pants the most comfortable things in the world? And I've kept my socks on tonight. They don't match anything. Well, I suppose I've got stripes on toes and stripes up here. PJs, yeah. So you can keep socks on tonight because we're not going to be standing up at all. It's all going to be on the floor. And tonight we are going to be, saying tonight, it doesn't feel like tonight, it feels more like middle of the afternoon. But we are going to be working on lower back and hips. So particularly this psoas muscle attaches to your lower spine, these lumbar vertebrae and the lowest thoracic vertebra of the spine. It wraps all the way around the hips and it attaches to the top of your femur, your thigh muscle. And it is responsible for this action, for sitting up. So to sit up like this muscle needs to be activated. Any action where your upper body and lower body are coming towards each other, it's all to do with this muscle. When this is tight, it's going to move your pelvis in a really not good direction. So you might be someone that kind of sits like this because all your pelvis is tucked under, and you might not be able to straighten up through the lower back here. So it's really good for this, and to open up the front of the hips as well. So this is the area we're really going to be focusing on tonight. So we're going to get started. So I know lots of people catch up with the yogas a little bit later, like a lot of people kind of do them either really early in the morning or late in the evening, which is great. So this is like online for whenever you want to watch. So I have got my stopwatch here. Well, it's not a stopwatch, it's a phone. It's an old phone with a clock on it. Don't know how to work it. Okay, let's get back there. Where is my stopwatch? Is there? Okay. So we're going to be timing these postures, and like we did last week, I'll talk you through. So if you're used to yin, if you've been to yin classes before, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Just relax and enjoy it, and just see if you can tune me out of some background noise, you know, that white noise in the background. But if you haven't done yin yoga before, then you might learn something new. So I'm not taking any particular position here. I'm trying to come onto the front of the sit bones a little bit just to release the hamstrings, the pelvis. We're going to take the soles of the feet together and just let the knees drop open. So we're not having the feet really close, they're not up here, they're a little bit away, so we've got this nice big space between the hips. Now I'm just going to let my body drop forward. If you've got big cushions with you, you might want to use your cushion as some support. So if this is really tight and you can't let your body come too low, you might want to rest on your cushion. Actually, that feels quite nice, so maybe I'll just stay here. Hi. So we're just going to stay here, and I'm going to let this go away because I feel like I need a little bit more of a stretch tonight. So I'm going to put the stopwatch on for 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Hi, Fiona. So soles of the feet together, we're just allowing gravity to do the work. So we're not trying to force these knees down to the floor. You can see my knees are actually quite high tonight. So we're just allowing the knees to drop open in their own time. And we're not lengthening forward with the spine either. We're just letting the spine round and letting the neck relax. So if your neck feels a little bit tense, if you feel you're taking too much strain in your neck, if you can't release your head, you might want to prop your chin in your hands. You might be up here with the knees. You might be on the floor. You might want to take a block. Some blocks come in handy. Prop up here. For me, I'm just going to take my arms underneath the legs and really just relax forward. Relaxing the neck, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the feet, the inner thighs, the hips. So we're here for a few minutes. And this is where we can really start to focus on our breath. So we can use our yin practice as a real internal meditation practice. And that I mean, really bringing your awareness to how you feel in your body, how your breath feels. So there's no judgment. We're not trying to control. We're not trying to judge. There's no right. There's no wrong. Just be there and feel. Breathing in and out through the nose. So our challenges with our yin practice is firstly stillness. I know you will want to move and fidget around, so just try and find a place of stillness. And yeah, things will get uncomfortable, and that's normal. Discomfort's going to be normal. We're not used to staying in one position, particularly something like this, for a long time, certainly not 3 minutes. So discomfort is going to be normal. So just trying to be there with it. But we don't ever, ever want to feel pain. So don't ever feel like, oh, I just need to push through this, or those burning or pinching sensations. Like if your body is telling you it's wrong, then it probably is wrong for you today. So just relax and enjoy. Yeah, Fiona's saying she's only just eaten, she got her clocks wrong. So yeah, you don't want to practice yoga when you've just eaten. Lots of exercise you can do when you've just eaten. It's not recommended, but yoga, no, you want to leave a few hours between having a meal and doing your yoga practice. Oh, we've gone over 3 minutes. Okay, only just over 3 minutes. So we're going to bring the hands to the floor. We're going to pull in the belly to protect the back, and we're going to push down to the floor, lift the chest all the way up. Support the knees as we bring them together. Oh, feels good. Sometimes you feel these more when you come out of the posture than when you go into it. Okay, we're going to come over onto the hands and knees. So I'm going to take knees as wide as the mat. Big toes come together. We're going to let the bum drop back towards the heels. Now, again, this might not be good for your knees. You might need to be a little bit higher. Something you can do here is to place a cushion behind your knee crease and sit back on the cushion. That actually feels really nice, takes some pressure off the knees. But if you're more flexible in your quads and your knees feel okay, then I'm actually just going to let my bum come down towards the heels. We're stretching the arms forward. I'm allowing the belly, the rib cage and the chest to come through the shoulders and down towards the floor. And we're just going to be here. So you might be feeling it across the lower back, the back of the hips. You might be feeling it in the groin or in the quadriceps. Wherever you're feeling it, that's okay, that's fine. Stretching forward with the arms, you might be feeling it up in the shoulders. That's okay too. So our first challenge is stillness. So I've got my head off the floor here just so I'm not muffling down into the mat, just so you can hear me, but your head is just going to be down towards the floor. So first challenge is physical stillness, trying to be really still in your body, just allowing your body to open in its own time, in its own way. So we're not forcing, we're not doing anything, just breathing into it. Your second challenge is stillness of the mind. So your mind might be doing all kinds of thoughts, traveling everywhere and doing all kinds of crazy things. So trying to bring stillness to your mind. So when you feel it's okay for your mind to be busy, and it's very normal for your mind to be busy. We can't stop thoughts. Okay, so let's just agree to that straight away. We cannot stop our thoughts. But what we can do is train our mind to not get attached to those thoughts, to not get involved in them, to kind of watch your thoughts like clouds. I read something the other day in a meditation book. It's like, you know, we look at the sky and sometimes there are big, black, heavy clouds that sit tight, and then above those there are little white fluffy ones that are moving really fast. And kind of like the same with our thoughts. You get those little white fluffy thoughts that move really fast and you don't even realise they're there. They've come and gone before you realise what you're thinking about. But you've got those heavier, denser thoughts that kind of you get a bit more attached to. So just trying to recognise when you get attached to a thought, observing that, and then just allowing it to go. So think, oh, okay, but right now I'm doing my practice. Right now I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. So one of the things you can do to disattach from your thoughts is to bring your focus to your breath. And this is a really good position to think about your breath. You might feel your belly and your thighs expanding out to your belly and your rib cage expanding out to your thighs on your inhale. And on your exhale, allowing everything to soften. So when you feel yourself being attached to a thought, bring it right back to your breath. Okay, it's not all going to be super comfortable tonight. So yin practice is not restorative yoga, so there is a difference. Our restorative yoga is kind of really cozy and warming and comfortable and nice, and sometimes our yin practice can get very uncomfortable. We're working deep. Just a few more seconds here, a few more breaths. Okay, we're there. So you're going to start to walk those hands back towards you. We're going to come up onto the hands and knees. Bring those. And then we're going to take this right foot really close to the camera tonight. We're going to take this right foot forward. So we want the ankle underneath the knee. We don't want the knee to be travelling forward over that ankle. Okay, that's not going to feel great on your knee. So ankle underneath the knee, and then this back leg, we're going to take it as far away as we can. Now this is where you might want to use your blocks. So if this is really uncomfortable, you might be high up on the block, you might have your blocks the highest point, or your books. You might feel a little bit more open in this space, have them a bit lower, or a bit lower. Or maybe if you feel a bit more open, you bring the arms on the inside. Let me change this stopwatch. Arms on the inside. You might even be able to take them to the floor, or even you might be able to get down onto the elbows. I'm just going to move slightly away from the screen. You don't want to see those close-ups, they're like just nasty. Okay, so that knee traveling back. So here we'll open up these quads, open up this hip flex of the psoas, the front of the hips. And if you're really tight in your hamstrings, you might be feeling it at the back of this right hamstring here. Okay, we have got 2.5 minutes here. We've done over 30 seconds already with me waffling away. So it's all good. All good. So yeah, so no foundation yoga. We don't need a lot of space. You just need space enough for your yoga mat. Have a nice room to practice in. You don't want anything that's too crowded, but really you just need a space. You don't need. Yeah, okay, I've got blocks here, but as I said at the beginning, you can use some books if you haven't got blocks. It's absolutely fine. Everybody's got pillows or cushions that you can use. Okay, we're just got 1 minute left here. So my back knee doesn't like to be in this position with my toes stretched out. So I often tuck those toes under and just release that knee a little bit. If you create more space, if you feel your body soften, you can come down a little bit deeper. Maybe the elbows on the floor. So we're working really deep into the body. We're stretching out all the connective tissue. We're not just looking at muscles here. We're looking at the ligaments, tendons, the myofascia, that connective tissue that sits under the skin, around the organs. Might be feeling this in the glutes. Or this is not the most comfortable pose. Some of you I know are going to be hating me right now. Just breathing through it. We're nearly there, just a few seconds to go. It's a few seconds. Okay. So from here, we're not going to move very far. We are just going to walk the hands back, and see this back hip is going to come over that back knee. We're straightening the front leg as much as we can. We're going to lift those front toes. So we're not sitting down towards that back heel. Lift your bum nice and high. Lengthen over that front leg. So toes are up. Feeling the stretch of the hamstring. We've only got a few seconds here. We're not going to be holding this for minutes. It's like maybe 45 seconds. I'm feeling this in my bum cheeks. I'm feeling this in my glutes today. Did some work yesterday. Did lots of squats yesterday. So I'm really feeling this in my butt right now. A few breaths. And then we're going to take those toes back to the floor. And we're going to bring that right foot back. So right knee to the floor. I'm going to do exactly the same on the left. So your left foot is coming forward. And then we're going to drop the hips forward. So we're bringing knee in line with the ankle. And we're taking out that back knee. So stretching through the right hip flexor, right quads. I'm just going to turn around so you can see from this angle. So it's looking like this. Knee in line with the ankle. Not be as open in your hip flexors as I am, or the quads. So your knee might be a little further in. It's okay, it might be here. But just take it a little bit further. As your body starts to open, remember we're not forcing, we're not pushing or pulling. Just let the hips drop, let gravity do the work. Let the body open in its own time. So everybody needs to create flexibility in their bodies, right? It's really important. We flex so that we don't break. Have you ever heard that saying before? Flex so that you don't break. So it's great to have strength. I'm a big lover of strength work. I love to work with weights. I've got my K weight on. It was hanging on the door before. I think somebody's moved it. I love some resistance work, some weight work. I'm not a huge fan of cardio, but weight work and stretching, my favourites. It is important to create that flexibility in your body. So just noticing right now, where are you holding on to tension? Notice your jaw. Have you got your teeth clenched together? Is your tongue stuck to the roof of the mouth? You're holding tension behind the eyes or in the toes. Okay, so I've got these back toes tucked under just to relieve that back knee a little bit because it doesn't like to be in this position. I'm going to come a little bit lower. So I'm going to take one of my blocks here to rest an elbow on. Okay. Do a few breaths, so it's a few more seconds here. I'm going to come out of camera shot a little bit. That's okay. You don't need to see my face all the time, do you? Oh, really feeling this in the front of that right hip right now, right into the groin there. And sweet discomfort is what we like to call it. Sweet discomfort. Okay, there's our 2.5 minutes gone on this side. So we are going to take hands to the floor and we're going to travel those hips back over that back knee. We're straightening up that front leg. That front leg. So if you push down into your right knee, push that right knee down into the floor. It's going to lift your left hip a little bit. So when that left hip lifts up, you're going to feel more of a stretch behind that left hamstring. Toes up towards the shin. You've got to feel a stretch up in the calf. 2 breaths. Wondering whether to move this Sunday class to a bit later next week. So when the weather is nice in Spain, it's not going to get dark till about 8 o'clock tonight. So I know lots of people are still out enjoying the sunshine and enjoying, the most of the day. So maybe do it. What do you think? An hour later next week? Should we start at 6:30? Pop your comments in the chat box a bit later when you've finished your practice. Let me know what you're thinking about times. Would you like this class on a Sunday to be a little bit later? Oh, okay. Take that foot to the floor. And we are going to bring the legs back, bring that foot back, and we're going to come back down onto the bum. Feet in front. And we're going to come all the way back down onto the back, and we are going to stay on the back. So this is a bit of a funny one that we're going to do now. This one consists of two poses. So, our first one, we're lying all the way down, knees are on the floor. We're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh. So this is not, they're not crossed up at the thighs here. Literally the outside of my right foot is resting on my thigh here. And that right knee, we're going to push it away. So if I turn into this direction, maybe you can see that a little bit better. So that right knee is going to be pushing away. We're going to stay here for 2 minutes. Oh, clock, there we go, 2 minutes. Okay, what I want you to do, I'm not going to stay quite here for 2 minutes. We need to get into our full position. So this right knee is moving away. We're going to lift the left foot off the floor. This right knee stays away, so no, this knee is going to want to drop in towards the shoulder, so we're going to still pushing away with that right knee. Please don't push on your knee joint, okay? Just trying to turn that knee out naturally using your hip. We're going to take hold of the left thigh, so your hand comes between the thighs. We're going to take all the way around the left thigh and hug it in. Now, if you're struggling to take hold of your thigh, and this happens in the neck, and you're lifting your neck up and the chin's up and we start straining here, please take your cushion or a pillow underneath the head. Make sure your head's supported and your neck stays nice and long. We don't want to be putting strain on the neck. We really want to relax into this, if at all possible. Hard position to relax into. So we're hugging in. Okay, let's start our 2 minutes from here. So you might be able to take hold of the thighs, that might be where you are, you might be on your cushion, and that's good too. If you're more flexible in the hips, you might be able to take your hands all the way around the shin, that left shin, and take hold of the shin. Where should you be feeling this? Okay, it's a deep stretch for your bum muscles, right? For your glute muscles. So you might be feeling it right in this right bum cheek, or around this right hip somewhere, or you might be feeling it in the inside of the thigh there. Okay? But the more that you've got your right knee turning out to the side, the more that you're going to feel a stretch, more of an intense stretch. So breathing into it, breathing out of it. Just use your breath. Be there and enjoy. Got 2 minutes right here. A few more breaths. It's a big stretch, isn't it? Really big stretch in the glutes. Okay, then we're going to take the left foot down to the floor. Right ankle is going to stay over that left thigh, so don't move the right ankle. The left foot comes back down to the floor, keep it quite close to the bum. Right knee stays, travelling out to the side, stays open. So if you want, you can always use your right hand to press on the inside of that left thigh. Okay, but now you want to keep your right shoulder blade on the floor. You're going to bring the knee, that left knee is just going to drop down towards the floor. The angle hasn't changed. Your right ankle is still on the thigh. Your right knee is still away from you. We're going to drop it all the way down towards the floor. Now, again, it might not reach the floor. So you might have a block or a cushion close by that you can rest the knee on or that foot on. Or if you're a little bit more open, it will reach all the way to the floor. Now, what might happen here is that knee might roll down. We don't want this to happen. Two things. Firstly, we want this right shoulder blade to stay on the floor so we get a twist. So right shoulder blade is on the floor. Second thing, we want this right knee up and away. Really open up. So with your opposite hand, your left hand, press into the inside of that right thigh. See if you can move that thigh away. So from here, we have got 2 minutes. Beautiful, 2 minutes. So right shoulder blade on the floor. So you might be feeling this anywhere from your lower back, around the waist there, that right hip. It might feel it down the right thigh or into that towards the knee joint there. We're stretching out the dense piece of connective tissue, the dense piece of fascia that's called the IT band, connects the hip down to the lower leg. And we're just giving that a nice open and release. Some people super, super tight in this area, so that knee might be all the way down here. That's okay. That's okay. You work with what you've got and you breathe into it. Some people are going to be more open and that knee is going to be a little bit further away. We've got another minute right here. If you're still feeling comfortable, you can move this left knee a little bit higher along the floor. So as if you're trying to hug your left thigh in towards the left side of the rib cage. And that is going to, I'm really feeling that now along my right thigh into my right hip. And really opening up there. So the higher you take that left knee along the floor towards that left shoulder, the deeper the twist you're going to get. And the more you take your right knee up towards the sky and away from you, the deeper the stretch through that IT band. Oh, it feels super intense right now. Remember, it's not always going to feel good. It will feel good later. It might not feel good right now. Please don't hate me. You can dislike me for a little bit if you want, but you love me tomorrow, I'm sure. A few breaths. Remember, just taking your awareness back to your breath, back to how you're feeling right now. Okay, we are there. We are there. If anybody's timing this, you're going to be like, that's more than 2 minutes. Okay, nice and slowly. Pulling your belly to protect the back, and we're going to bring this left knee back away from the floor, all the way back. Both hips on the floor. Drop that right foot down. Just let that spine release out a little bit, lower spine, and then we're going to bring the left ankle over the right thigh. So to see this right foot, I'm bringing it really close to my bum. So the back of my heel is actually touching my bum right now. Okay, you might not have that flexibility, you might be a little bit further away. I'm going to bring it right in. And then this left knee is opening out to the side. Okay, so keeping that left knee open. Press go on my watch. You're then going to bring that right foot up off the floor, take hold of the right thigh, hug it in. Now this hip of mine, this left hip which we're stretching here now, is a little bit tighter. So this is a bit harder for me. I'm feeling that and I'm arching through my here to take hold of my thigh. Sometimes it feels more accessible, today it's not. So I'm just going to take a cushion under my head so that I'm not straining through my neck, and then I can pull that thigh in and get a nice deep stretch so I can focus more on this area rather than feeling it up in the neck there. You don't want to be feeling any strain in your neck at all in anything, so really protect your neck. So hugging it. Remember again, if you're feeling quite open this side, you're feeling quite stretchy, you can always reach around and take hold of your shin. That is super intense for me tonight. There's no way I am going to be able to relax tonight taking hold of my shin. So I'm just going to keep hold of my thigh, let the shoulders relax down to the floor, keeping that left knee open as much as it will go. So this left hip for me is so much different than my right side. I really can feel the difference when I'm working through hips, through my left and right. So. And that's okay, it's just an awareness, and I'm not judgmental. There's no good side or bad side or right side or wrong side. It's just different. It's just different. And that's what makes our bodies interesting. Breathe in here, a few breaths. How are we doing for time? Let me see. Oh, another 15 seconds to go. Okay. Oh. So again, you can do this on the floor, you can do it on your bed. I often practice my yin yoga on my bed. Feels really nice. So, you know, again, with our yin practice, we don't need to have a special place. Okay, so we're going to bring that right foot back down to the floor. Again, see that I'm keeping it really close to my bum. I'm not taking it away. And then with the left thigh open, so that thigh has naturally swung inwards because this hip is tight. So I'm just going to open this thigh again. And then let that right knee with my left foot attached to it drop over towards the floor on the right. So again, I'm going to take this knee a little bit higher and notice I'm keeping my left shoulder. So I've got a twist in the spine and I've got this IT stretch. Now this knee, we don't want it to drop down towards the floor. That left knee is pushing up and out towards the sky. So I'm just going to change angles. Yeah, I think you can see actually, can't you? Shall I turn round? I'll turn round. Whoops, let's press start. Let's press start. Where are we? Go. Go. 2 minutes. So I'm just going to turn back this way. I'm going to come down here. Now I can't reach my, my timer. Oh. Okay, so left knee travelling out towards the sky. Maybe you feel this. I'm feeling this more through the outside of this hip here. Also feeling it down the thigh a little bit. Take a nice spinal twist. If it feels comfortable in the neck, you can always look over towards your left shoulder, but if not, you can just look straight up towards the sky. And again, just taking a focus to your breath. In and out through the nose. I have no idea how we're doing for time. Probably very unlikely this is going to be a 30-minute class. Probably more like 40, 45 minutes. So you really want to take advantage of these postures. We don't want to rush them. You've got another 30 seconds right here. It's just great stretches through the hips. I'm hoping that in this lockdown, people aren't going to be sitting around more. I know there's is it a Star Wars marathon going on this weekend, Ali? So yeah, just watch how much time you're spending sat on your sofa, right? Because you're really going to start to feel it in your lower back and your hip flexors if you're going to be sat down a lot. So make sure that you don't use this time to sit on your bum watching TV. Make sure you get up regularly, do some exercise, walk around the house, walk around the garden. Okay, we're going to come all the way back to centre, belly in tight, bringing it all the way back. Wow. And just bring it down to the floor. In fact, I'm sure I saw Jacinta, I think you're watching tonight, Jacinta, I think you are. I'm sure I saw Jacinta doing some chair exercises this week. So you can check in with Jacinta and see what she's been doing so you can sit in your chair and still get some mobility and movement going. That's really good fun. So make sure the spine's nice and long. And then we're going to bring both knees in. Now, I'm not bringing these together. The knees are out towards the shoulders. Okay? And then I'm going to flex the feet and take the feet up to the sky. Knees are bent down towards the shoulders. And now we are going to reach through the legs, so we're coming up to the centre of the legs, not the outside, up through the centre, and we are going to take hold of the soles of the feet. Again, you might struggle and your neck might be feeling this, so if it is, take your cushion under the neck so there's no strain there, take hold of the soles of the feet. Your aim is to get your knees down towards the floor. So I see a lot of people in class when we come into this posture. It's called Happy Baby. Let me start this timer before I talk too much. Where have you gone? I see a lot of people in class when they come into this pose and they kind of just relax there like this, legs down. No, that's not what we want. We want to get this right angle in the knees, both knees. And then we are pulling down with the arms to try and get those knees down into that space underneath the armpits. So really tucking in. So this is Happy Baby. So I'm sure you've all seen at some point or other, either your own or a niece or nephew or cousin or friend's baby, taking hold of their feet, having a little rock side to side. So if you fancy a little rock, you can have a little rock. And I know babies also suck on toes. They take one leg out, take the other leg in, and they have a little suck on a toe. So nobody can see you right now. If you fancy sucking on a toe, feel free. I won't suck on any toes. So you're going to bring those hands down. You're going to take those knees down towards the floor. Few breaths in. Again, it's not the most comfortable pose. I'll be feeling this, the back of the hips, the lower back, maybe the back of those, the tops of those hamstrings. A few breaths. I'm going to check this time. How are we doing? Okay. So I think we're like 35 minutes into class. That's okay. We'll just do one more, or maybe two more postures after this one. A few breaths. So don't resist. Don't start, when you feel your muscles start to tighten up, use your breath. Really use that exhale to see if you can release and let go. Really use that exhale to try and soften in. Yeah, it's not comfortable. Sweet discomfort. So we've not been holding any of our stretches for too long today. It's been between 2 and 3 minutes. I know for some of you that is plenty. For others, I know you like to be in these postures. Those of you that come to my yin yoga regularly, I know some of you like to be here for more like 5 and 10 minutes. But short class tonight, so a few minutes. Okay, you're going to release those feet. It's okay to groan. Bring the knees in. Wow, it's a big stretch. Just have a little rock side to side. Just releasing the back of the hips, releasing the lower back. Feet to the floor. I'm going to take this cushion away because I don't need any neck support here. Okay, and there's where your cushions and pillows are going to come in handy. So, yoga blocks are good, they're nice and firm. Books are good, they're nice and firm. I've got these lovely cushions again, which are also super firm. So knees are bent, feet to the floor, going to push into the floor, lift the hips, and I'm going to slide this cushion underneath the hips. Now you don't want it underneath your bum, you don't want it into your lower back, you want it on that nice flat hip joint, the back of the hips. I think this is where I might have lost you last week. I think we were just doing this and then everything went off. So we're here. Now, you can build this up as small or as high as you like. If you're quite flexible in your hip flexors and your back, you might be able to bring it up really high. I could probably be in this position, but it's actually quite awkward to get more cushions underneath there. So, I'm going to stay here. Set this timer. So if you're struggling here, if you're feeling this already, if this feels quite intense for you already, keep the feet on the floor, keep the knees bent. I'm going to straighten my legs out and take one out and the other. So this is going to open up more. There's going to be so much more of a stretch through the front of the body, the quads, the front of these hip flexors, through the abdomen, the chest, and then I'm going to take arms overhead and take hold of the elbows and let these arms rest down towards the floor. So we've got natural back bend coming into place. Our hips are supported. Just going to exhale and relax right into it. Remember, if you start to feel anything in your lower back, bend your knees, take the feet to the floor, let the feet take some of the weight. Otherwise, just allow yourself to release and let go. It's one of my favourite postures. And you really feel that stretch through the abdomen. We don't often stretch through the abdomen a lot. We stretch all these big major muscle groups, hamstrings, quads, triceps, but we don't stretch the abdominal area. And this feels really nice. We're creating lots of space around the digestive organs, stretching through the diaphragm. Feels so, so good. And ladies, if you suffer with monthly cramping, this is also a great stretch to offer a little bit of release. Because often in those monthly cramps, we tend to crunch up into ourselves and draw the belly in. So this is really nice to open up through there if it's not too painful. Shoulder blades comfortable against the floor. Notice where you're holding on to any tension. Might be in a strange place, it might be the toes, the fingers, the jaw. See if you can use your breath to release and let go. You haven't frozen, I'm still here. It's the only thing working virtually when you can't, when the camera's still, when I'm still. Probably some of you think, is it frozen? I've lost you. Which is why I'm talking constantly through these classes, just to let you know that I'm still here and you haven't lost me. Such a nice stretch to the front of the body. Okay, we are going to finish off by taking a little inversion. So if you've got your cushions or pillows, your block, whatever you're using in the right place, you should feel that your hips are fully supported. So you're going to take the feet back to the floor. I'm just going to just slightly bring my back of my hips down there. Feet into the floor. I'm going to bring one knee in and then the other knee. You might want to stay there. That might be exactly where you want to be. Or, to get more benefit from this inversion, you can take the legs up the wall. If you're still with me on your bed, you can turn round and face your wall. So you can pile your pillows up underneath your hips and let your legs rest against the wall. It's a really nice inversion to do. I'm going to bring my arms down here. I'm just going to bring my elbows to the floor. My hands are on my thighs. I'm just going to let my thighs rest into my hands so that my abdominal muscles, which is what's keeping my legs in this position, they don't need to work. I can just relax them, bring the thighs in. If you're really tight in your hamstrings, let your knees bend. Let your knees bend so your knees can drop a little bit further down, your thighs can drop further down towards your hands. And it feels really nice. So our inversions are really good when we take the legs up. Really, really good for your circulation. So your heart works hard to pump that oxygenated blood out around your body. And then super, super hard to try and get that deoxygenated blood back up to your heart. So our body relies a lot on gravity and muscle contraction to get that blood pumping around the body, just to take some pressure off the heart. So we can certainly help with the gravity aspect by taking our legs up. So anything where your hips are higher than your heart is classed as an inversion. This also really helps the lymphatic system. So your lymphatic system is like your internal sewer system, right? Getting rid of all that badness in your body and driving it through the body and getting rid of it in that natural way. So your lymphatic system, like your internal bin man, and again, it doesn't have a pump to work, it relies on gravity and muscle contraction. So we can stimulate and help our lymphatic system by taking an inversion, taking those hips a little bit higher. Also helping that oxygenated blood up to the top part of the body, so we're bringing that nice fresh red oxygenated blood up towards the head. With the oxygen comes nutrients and minerals, so we're feeding the brain, the eyes, the teeth, the skin of the face, the hair. So we can't get out to beauty parlour right now, you can't go and get a facial or get to the hairdressers. So take some inversions and bring that oxygen all the way up to your face. Help your teeth and eyes be healthy, bringing some nutrients and minerals in there. Okay, so we're going to bring those feet back down. So if anyone is against the wall right now, you're literally going to press your feet into the wall so you can lift your hips and take that cushion out of the way. The rest of us who haven't got a wall are going to take our feet down to the floor. We're going to lift the hips, take your cushions, your pillows out the way. If you're against the wall now, you need to roll to one side so you can bring yourself up to seated. Those of us not on the wall, we are in the perfect position now just to let those legs come out straight. Turn the palms up to the sky just to allow those shoulders to roll back and open up the chest. Fingers are relaxed, toes are relaxed. Breathing in and out through the nose. If you're feeling any tension at all in your lower back, please feel free to bend the knees. Feet are wide, knees come together to drop into each other so the legs support each other. Otherwise, our legs are out, our legs slightly open, the arms slightly away from the body, palms up to the sky. Everything relaxed, the toes, the feet, the ankles relaxed. The calves, all the muscles around the knees. The thighs, all the muscles through the hips, the groin, front of the hips, the lower belly, the sides and backs of the hips, completely relaxed. And all the muscles through the back of the body, along the spine, the back of the waist, back of the rib cage, shoulder blades heavy against the floor. And all through the front of the body, the abdomen, the ribs, the chest, the shoulders, the arms, elbows, wrists, hands and fingers, completely relaxed. And up from your fingers to the shoulders, up through the neck, the throat, the jaw is relaxed, the tongue is loose behind the teeth, the muscles in the cheeks, behind the eyes and the forehead, completely bringing your awareness back to your body and inviting some movement back into the body through the fingers, the toes, give them a wiggle, move the wrists, the ankles, bending the knees, and gently rolling over onto your left side. We roll onto the right when we do a little yang yoga, left for the yin yoga. It's all about energy, the way that energy travels in the body. And using your right hand to push down into the floor, bring yourself up to seated. It's a nice, comfortable position. Take the hands behind the back. Oh, what's happened to my hair? Gone very fluffy. Hands behind the back, take hold of one wrist with the opposite hand. Let your head and chest come down towards the floor. Take this moment as your moment of gratitude to yourself, to your yoga practice, to 3 things in your life that has made you smile this week. 3 things that have made you smile. And a few blinks to open the eyes, lift the head, lift the chest, release the hands, bring the palms together. Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Remember, please drop in the comments if you prefer to have this class a little bit later. Now on a Sunday, now the clocks have changed, it's a little bit lighter in the evening. And if there's enough of you who want a later class next Sunday, then we'll move the time a little bit. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening, hair in my mouth, and hopefully I will see you on the mat tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock Spain, 9 o'clock UK. Namaste everybody. Thank you.